Victor, way up north of the sea.
Oh, okay. Let me bring you in first. D3 JMD. Go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good. Everyone, we have it.
Okay, Vianney. Well, you got a good signal down into my shack here. And IJD, he was passing along best wishes to several of the other folks that he heard on the band. And I think he said his temperature was about 13 degrees this morning and expecting a pleasant day.
Okay, very good. What's your name, Owen?
Okay, Vianney, got that now. His name is Vianney. I'm not exactly sure of the spelling, but it's something like V-I-A-N-N-Y or E-N-N-Y, something similar to that.
Okay, good. Well, I've got an interesting right out after that. So I got some of it out of there. So good morning from Honey Harbor, which is about an hour north of Barrie, and we're right on Grogan Bay. At the Fort Stubborn turn-off of 400. So thanks for checking in with me this morning. Okay, let me go to IJY. Good morning.
Good morning. Great signal, almost 20 hours, but totally negative on the other station. Anyway, looks like we might hit the third gear conditioner back on before the day is over, but we had a few nice days. And nothing special, life goes on, I'm getting sick and tired of this lock up and everything. Yesterday we finally went for a little ride and can't go anywhere anyway, so this too shall pass. I might pass well before that, but we'll see. Have a good day, thanks for being there, catch you next time.
Okay, thanks for checking in, Phil, from the Windsor area. Very good. Nice to go up into Honey Harbor this morning. Well, we did something different yesterday. If anybody's listening that's in the Parry Sound or Honey Harbor area around, took the boat up to an island called San Susie. And there they serve some of the best pickerel you could imagine. It was about an hour 40 to get there by boat from Honey Harbor. But they are really practicing good behavior up there. They follow all in one direction, which is the best thing to do. And they straighten your hands down as soon as you get there, and then you wait and, we were supposed to wait 45 minutes. It was pretty busy, but I don't think we were 10 minutes. We got called to our table. Everybody has a mask on, which you have to do in most of these townships now. And when you got to your table, then you could take your mask off if you wanted to. And it was a good idea if you wanted to start eating without a mask. But, boy, the place was really good. I'm so glad to see that. We hate to lose favorite places. A couple of planes were flying in on floats, taking off. They shuttle people down from Parry Sound to the island, have your meal, and then they'll pick you up. That's sort of different. Make a good birthday present. So we had fun doing that. This is Dean, DE3 IJD, looking for your Ontars setting.
Victor Echo 2, Charlie, November, X-ray.
DE3 CNS, good morning.
Okay, DE3 IJD, DE3 CNS, good morning, James. And good morning to Jeff, you're sounding good here. You're 595, brother.
Well, thanks, Matt. Yeah, you get a nice signal into Honey Harbor this morning as well. nice group. I'm up to 11 already. Sun shining here. It's cloudless. I don't see a cloud in the sky. So we're going to have a pretty nice day up here as well.
Okay, very good. So, Gene, what takes you to Honey Harbor, and how long have you been there? Over?
Oh boy, this is a complicated story, but in 2010, my wife and my son and his wife bought a trailer on Picnic Island, which is also in Honey Harbor. And in 2012, we sold our house just outside of Owen Sound. But also in 10, I told you it was going to be complicated, we bought a place in Florida, Fort Charles. 2-bedroom, 2-bath swimming pool, and so we've been doing the Honey Harbor Picnic Island trailer thing since 10 for the summers, and then in the winter time we go down to Florida. Well, guess what? There's a wrench in the whole thing this year. So, July the 12th, my son bought a house in Honey Harbor on the water, and it's a big place, 4 bedrooms, and my wife and I are going to try and do wintertime again. I don't even have a pair of mitts, so we've got to do some shopping for cold clothes. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, I'm not familiar with Picnic Island. I'm from the north, near Sudbury, and have traveled through the north extensively, but not familiar with Picnic Harbor, so I'll have to do a little research on that. Anyway, fine business on the home and having to buy some mitts. Well, I'm a northerner, and anything over 10 degrees is a heat wave for me, so the Florida circuit is not for me. And I just, I admire everybody that wants to go down there and spend time there. I like Florida. I've been there many, many, many times, but not where I would want to spend my winters because there's no place like home. Anyway, good to hear you, Gene. Thanks for being there, and we'll catch you down the band. This is EE3, CNX.
Beautiful segment, you know, I said the same thing. We've always had 2 snowmobiles, and got a J3 Cub on skis for the winter time. We iced it. I had a couple of hikes on 2 different lakes, Erin Lake and Tesla Lake, and helped out the snowmobile club. I worked outside. I worked with Mel, so and of course, Old Sound here out southwest of there in a beautiful snowbelt area. I could be on skis 3 weeks after everybody else has to take their stuff off that's the snow at our place. So I didn't think I didn't like going to Florida either, but man, there's just something about watching the scene at 8:30 in the morning weather. When I talked to my buddies back in southern Ontario and they're battling -30. I get cold thinking about it. Anyway, we'll try and try this with it. I'll be back out blowing snow and sure Honey Harbor's going to be jumping it on me. I'll miss my traction with 40 Anyway, thanks for that this morning.
Okay, Gene. Yeah, Florida has always been an attraction. My first trip there was in February 1967. I was driving a 67 Camaro. Population of Florida at that time was about 3 million. Current population, about 15. Disney World. Anyway, thanks for being there. 73.
You betcha. And if you look on your map off the 400 at the Fort Severn turnoff, head kind of northwest from Lake to the end where Honey Harbor is. And just before you get into the village of Honey Harbor, you have to turn left onto a street called Baxter Loop, and then make a hard right onto Picnic Island Road. And that takes you, if you go straight, take you on to Picnic Island, and turn right. It'll take you into Paragon Marina. You turn left at Corbier Lane, and we are on Corbier Lane. So you can Google from up close too. Everybody's got a shot. 73, Pat.
Okay, 73. We'll catch you later.
Ontars, EE3, India, Juliet, Denmark. My name is looking for your second.
Alpha 8 Kilowatt Bravo.
somebody else in there, Mike. Geez, I remember that call sign. Good morning, Mike Sickle.
Yeah, I heard somebody there too. Unfortunately, I'm listening on the big signal. Thank you. Yeah, Gene, thanks for letting me in there. How about this? How about if all the people in Florida moved to Canada and exchanged 1-to-1 for Canadians, all 15 million?
Yeah, that's been half of those.
Right, and it would make Florida someplace that would probably be not hell to visit. I mean, it would be kind of difficult. This time of year is actually a very rough time of year to be in Florida. But it's, yeah, I was there one time, and I would not go back. But on the other hand, I'm not all that pleased with being here by Lake Michigan. I grew up on the other side of the state where I could see the stars more. But I was thinking, though, you could probably do it, because apparently you can trick many Americans into doing just about anything. Lincoln said that. He said you can fool some of the people all of the time. And for some people, hey, man, that makes a constituency.
Yeah. Well, I thought the guy that looked after my swimming pool down there is originally from Michigan, too, north of you, just where it has that going around Colorado City, I guess, or from that area. They had worked there for years, so they moved to Michigan. And now, even on a cold morning, his hands freeze up on him, so he says there's no way I could move back to Michigan. They are really aware of what's going on south of Michigan, staying away from just about everything but the general store. And the guy that looks after my lawn, too, was a small lawn cutting business, he said, no, we stay home. We're in our 60s. We can't afford to get sick. So they're minding their business here as well, Michael.
Well, yes, there's quite a lot of social distance between cutting lawn and operating a store.
Oh, absolutely. We were down there when this whole thing broke. My son had just crossed the border March the 6th, and they spent 2 weeks. Nobody touched things early, and we got back in quarantine. Man, oh man, we made it all the way from Fort Charlotte to Ohio. And when we come out of the gate, five cars in the whole parking lot of a great big Hampton Inn. That's how quick they moved things happened. 23rd of March. And I've never seen I-75 empty before. It was the most beautiful thing that I had ever seen. And when we crossed at Fort Huron, we were the only car aboard mid-afternoon. You talk about it don't get any worse.
When's the last time you were here?
In the state, this past March.
Okay, but all right, so that's why I was asking, because it's not like that now. It seemed like something or somewhere around, the beginning of summer. What is that? Memorial Day? Yeah, that's it was. It just all kind of got back to being crowded again. And even where I live, which is in the north, very few people wear masks. And, if I go anything rural, so for example, if I go to the feed store for the farm feed store, that is, nobody's wearing masks around the farm feed. And I would guess the animals might be safe, but, people are still coming in to buy products at a store. Yeah, they don't get it here. They just don't get it. There's something wrong with the way people's minds are working here.
Yeah, that's just terrible. Well, I see 2 days ago, I was reading online here, Florida topped 500,000 total deaths. Oh, man, that's just brutal, isn't it?
Well, yeah, what I do is I look at the the number of deaths per population, just the number of people that died divided by the population, and we're not. If counting real countries, I think we're like number 7. The only ones that are worse are the UK, I think France, Belgium. I think we passed Italy. But you know what's happening, though? Some of the South American countries are creeping up on us. Like Peru. Peru is having a really rough time. I haven't heard anybody mention it, but they're marching up the charts, you know. But as far as developed nations, here you go. Here's one for you. Go look on the internet and look up something called the Human Development Index, the HDI, and look at where various countries rate there. Yeah, you know. Anyway, don't do anything we do. Anything we do, just do the opposite over there. Okay?
Yeah. Our townships are mandated for your anywhere. Even the Walmart, so if you go to a Walmart or any store like that, everybody now has a mask on. No mask, my son's in the nursing business. He works on the floor and taking care of the hospital. So we know firsthand what it's like. And it's not all people. Everybody's got this misconception, but he just had a 21-year-old pass away. Man, it's anyway, Mike, I'll let you go and move on. I'm going to see maybe if the band has changed a little bit. That other fellow was trying to check in at the same time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't think of that. Well, my last comment is the only reason I think this is happening, or you can tie it all back in the 90s where they changed it so that when you operated a TV station or a radio station, you had to be responsible and operate in the community's convenience and best interest. And when they struck those laws down, a lot of irresponsible broadcasting began, and that's continuing. The day after you drove across the bridge and left, back in March, the instant we decided not to be shut down, or actually once we started to shut down, if you'd have tuned your radio around, all the AM radio stations were saying how you cannot let the cure be worse than the disease. They were saying it on all the different talk radio channels, all wall to wall. And there's a channel on TV, they were saying the same crap. And that's why we got into this. Anyway, see you later. Sorry for being quasi-political, but it has to do with public health and well-being. So there we are. Some of the mission of the net, I would hope. AKB, Ontario.
Yeah, go ahead. Your info, go ahead. Yeah, there's a website Okay, Herb, very good. Oh, that's hot. They can pretty interesting things, I think. Okay, well, let's move on here. There was somebody trying to check in when Mike checked in. Not a very strong signal up here in Honey Harbor. Give it another shot. Victor Echo 3, Bravo 6. Okay, I got Bravo, Quebec, Mike, and there was something ending in November. I'm going to take you right now. Go ahead. Okay, what's your name and where are you located, over? Okay, Frank, well, you're about at 7 here, and my noise is at 6, but I couldn't hear you the first time you were trying to check in, but no problem that time, and very good, Toronto. Nice down there today, over? Well, yeah, it's nice to see Ontario. I think we've been below 100 new cases for the last 5 straight days down in the north. And yeah, stay close enough to the number of new cases go by the death count. That is the most important part. Excellent. Well, thanks for checking in from Toronto, Frank. Nice to meet you this morning. Okay, I'm just running 100 watts on an inverted feed that propagates north-south. So, give you kind of an idea what your 50 watts sound like. Thanks for checking in. Good morning, things over in the old town. Are you back at Red Bend?
Nope, I'm in the old town today, and we're heading up to Red Station now.
Oh, there you go. I guess it is. Yeah, no, you're not up here.
Your conversation this morning, and I realize you actually brought these contracts good too.
Yeah, so
same topic as well. Where we said that kind of stuff. I won't over the look like you got checked in this morning, and your topic conversation.
Yeah, okay, thanks for that, Bernie. It's kind of funny, I've got a booklet here that's around, and I'm writing down the calls, the names, and where they're from, and some people I've met before, and some I haven't, but when I was doing the 11 or 12 o'clock one, boy, I'd be lucky if I had 10 seconds, so I just put numbers 1 to 10, well, I took it up to 15, and you're 14, so I'm going to have to add a couple more numbers in here. Good morning, everybody. The E3YK is this morning, and so I volunteered to do the 7 o'clock hour. I'm up anyway, talking on the phone, 30 or so, and a couple of others. Oh, what the heck, hey, give it a go. Thanks for checking in, buddy. Maybe talk to you later on.
Well, this is a much better hour for me, thanks to the other one. I don't know, I wake up at that time, but I don't really think I can.
We definitely enjoy it. Yeah, we'll do, Bernie. 73 for now. This is Ontars. My name is Steve. I'm going in for that. E3YK. And we're looking for your check.
BA3WD.
Okay, a portable station. Go ahead. The 3 p.m., I believe, are not real strong here in Honey Harbor. I'd say you're down about a half to 6. Wonder if I got WGK also checked in, as well as I got an RMJ and a CRV. Can you, WGK, can you see if you can still what, pull in EM?
EVM, Dave. Yeah, you're running a 5 and 9 up here to my location, Dave.
You copy that, Dave? Over.
Okay, sorry about that. I got the call wrong. But yeah, you're coming in here 5 and 9 off your hamstick. You got nice, good audio too, and I'm just south of North Bay and a little down of Boston. Back to that.
Okay, thanks. Well, I can location with a big problem, right?
United.
United, Mike?
United Bravo, Mike.
Okay, UDM. Okay. And where was he located?
That I didn't get. What was your location? Okay, he's down in Lampton.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, not very good for me. My antenna's pretty much going south today, so Brampton should be coming in a little bit better, but boy, right over me hitting you, Rob.
Yeah, that's for sure. Sometimes that's the way it is. Just closer they are, the harder. Like rolling, or not rolling. I can't even think of it now. The one that's got the nickel belt net on 70 meters, I can't hear him at all. Yeah, it's rolling. Can't hear rolling at all. But I can hear the guy from Maine, out on the East Coast. I didn't know you could hear me at all. I thought it was just too close. Well, somebody's got their locks on.
Yeah, somebody's got it. Well, it sounds like I can hear you, so yeah, we won't talk about him anymore.
Well, there you go. He's the one that checked in there too, so I won't keep you. It's a very sunny day up here. Sitting at just not quite 10 degrees yet. Just coming up to the 10-degree mark, and beautiful evening.
Beautiful morning.
Morning, evening, same thing. It started last night just before dark, started cooling off nice. We could actually sit out on the back porch and no bugs, no nothing.
As the wind was going down, we landed about 4:30. It was gorgeous up there. Pretty much the same. Talked to somebody up near my earlier, and it was about 12 degrees. That's what it was. But we don't have any fog. It's the top still aren't moving, Rob. So anyway, I'll move on. Thanks for checking in with the water.
Yes, my granddaughters are up here for a couple of weeks visiting, and we had a float plane fly over last night, and they were just amazed. They'd never seen one before.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat, especially if they're lower. Those floats hang down pretty good.
Yeah, well, for this guy, I don't know, he goes by at least once or twice a week, and every once in a while, if we're out in the yard or something, he drops down a little bit and gives us a little wing wave.
Oh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. These guys, they're fun. Over here.
Well, there you go. All right, Gene, you have yourself a great day, and thanks for being here for Kenny. And we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, big shoes to fill for Kenny, let me tell you. 7-3, Rob. And the other Rob, BA3RMJ, good morning. Oh, really nice. that there's not a ripple on the water. I'm looking at the tops of some really tall trees. Yeah, there might be a little bit of movement up there now. It's supposed to be a really calm day, so we've got a guy coming. We're going to install a UV system on our water line so we can hopefully make it drinkable. And another guy's coming to get a connection on a new roof for us. And we got a couple of things going on today. I think November, Charlie. What kind of plane you flying on? I think you told me that once before. That thing will go straight up. Are you flying out west now, or? Thanks for checking in with me, 7-3. Roy, good morning. Oh boy, that's going to be one for Sunday. Good stuff. Well, nice signal, Roy. I think this is the first time. I just put in Funny Harbor. I talked about 50 feet into a tree, and I'm pretty much does an arrow ever fly off over a fish cast in a hurry? Well, your setup is doing a nice job down into Harbor this morning, Roy. Up here, and I got another one. So anything else in the middle? I've checked into that not many times, especially from Florida, but Florida's not going to happen this winter. 73 rolling, and I think it's GA3MC. Don, are you there?
Roger, want to go down?
Okay, guys, have a good camp this morning. and somebody else checked in.
And Victor, you're great.
Yeah, I got IDE and IFS. Okay, go ahead, IDE.
Oh, okay. Finally here. Boy, you've got a lot of callers in there, and it's a call right up in the top level here. Hope you have a fine weekend, and if everything's from your home board.
Yeah, it is. The East are running the 10 at noon now, and like I was telling the other guys, I was only number from 1 to 10. Holy crow, now I'm up to 21. So it is a little bit different for sure. Keep less fun, that's hard for me to do. Anyway, thanks for checking in.
Okay, well, that's because of your good work and personality from the traffic.
I don't know about that, Clayton. Don't know about that at all. You guys talking about getting out of the shower with nothing on but a towel. Oh man. I'm glad they changed that picture. Anything else for the next week?
No, nothing here.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. And I was going to say, we need a controller for 11 o'clock today, if anybody's willing. And it's just rolled off to 8 o'clock here.
Okay, well, good morning, Judy and I. Good morning, Rock. I apologize. I'm on the iPhone and I did not use my mic, so me bad. No, it was a good walk, and the best time to do it in the morning here. We've got 17 degrees, and the sun is up, everything's looking good. Dean, I just wanted to thank you. I'm going to keep tabs on young Ken, see how he's doing. But from all of us, we appreciate the effort this morning. You taking good care of him. And it sounds like you had a lot of fun. And it sounds like you played around the new GPH with lots of fun for you as well. And if RMJ is still listening, welcome home, Rob. B3 ISM. Turning it over to Mr. Go ahead, Dean.
Thanks, Barry.
And I'm looking for DDI, Dave. That's horrible. Once again, we do 11 o'clock today. So, Dave, are you on board?
Yes, I am. How do you copy? Go ahead.
Oh, man. Send over. No problem at all into Honey Harbor this morning.
Oh, what a lovely thing, being up in Honey Harbor. Gosh, I haven't been there for a couple of years. They're certainly not going to be there this summer. Gene, you've been doing a good job. Thank you so much. You have a good day.
Okay, thanks, Dave. And I hope Ken is listening. I hope Ken's feeling better. And we wish him all the best. Maybe we'll talk with him next Friday morning. Okay. Anyway, back to you, Dave. And I guess it's time for another cup of Java and a little bit of breakfast. I'm going to catch up to my wife. DE3EI from DE3IKC in Honey Harbor. 7-3, guys.
Go ahead, contact.
Oh, good morning, Maureen. Nice to hear your voice this morning. You betcha. 7388 over to you.
Okay, good morning, Maureen. How's things where you are? I guess it's a sunny day pretty much across the province. Go ahead. Well, that's very good to hear. It sounds like a really lovely day. And it's only about 14 degrees here in London. But absolutely transparent skies, really good skies. And if it wasn't for the near full moon, no good evening for doing some astronomy. I guess it will be good for astronomy for a few hours until the moon gets up. Anyway, you have a great day, and thanks for dropping by. Anybody else for the Ontars Net? This is V3 Echo India, Dave in London, and we're looking for your check-in.
Echo 3 Hotel Whiskey Kilo. Victor Echo 3 Yankee Alpha Juliet.
Okay, I had a couple of doubles there. I got HWK, YAJ, and a station with the K in the call. Station with the K in the call, complete your call, please. A Kilo Charlie Yankee Portable, and there were several others. Go ahead. Sierra Delta, Quebec. Okay, very good. Let's go with that. Hotel Whiskey Kilo, good morning.
Good morning. Victor Echo 3 Hotel Whiskey Kilo, Jim Great Bridge. Just got back from my walk with the dog. It was almost 4 kilometers. And just an absolutely gorgeous morning up there.
Well, it is indeed, isn't it? And my wife is saying it feels like fall. It's so cool. But I assure her we still have a few weeks of summer left.
Yes, this is typical August weather, I think. It's so much nicer than most of July. It's lovely. Little or no humidity. Even if it gets up to 7 degrees up there, still a lovely day.
Well, it is indeed, absolutely. And usually most years there's a star party that takes place in August called Starfest. And for years I was going to that. And of course August, right? Very, very hot in the middle of the day. You'd be walking around in shorts and a t-shirt, and then the sun sets and it begins to get cold, and by 1 in the morning you've got 5 layers on, including a nice big fluffy winter coat and a hat, just to try to stay warm. I remember one year we actually were getting pretty darn close to having frost on the grass. So it's that time of year. It's real good for sleeping, that's for sure.
It is. And talk about your star party. I went to one a few years back north of Kingston, and it was the guys I went with. They're the astronomy. They had their telescopes out there, and they were all the fine times before we hit the darkness. I think about 11 we started. Telescopes set up so they would get fine time. It was, I don't know, about 8 to 10 degrees. And yeah, it was quite cool, but it was absolutely amazing. That particular time, there was just a little sliver of a moon, and it was, I saw stars and planets that through the telescope parts that I didn't even know about. Names of them, and some of the planets like Saturn and that. It was a really, really interesting night, and we were out till almost 4 in the morning.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. That's the star party that takes place at a provincial park north of Kingston, and I think Terry Dickinson often turns up there as a guest speaker. Is that right?
Yep. I can't think of the name of the park. Something Echo or whatever it is. But it was really nice and dark and no light.
Yeah, absolutely none there, that's for sure. I can't think of the name of the park myself right now, but I know it'll come to me a little later on in the hour. Anyway, thank you so much for dropping by, Al.
7-3, and everybody on net, please stay safe, and we'll be back again tomorrow to chit chat. In the meantime, I'll just ride along on the track with.
Okay, sorry about calling you. I think it's Jim. Thanks so much, Jim, 73. And VE3 YAJ, Al, please go ahead.
Well, good morning, Dave. On the net. degrees Fahrenheit here this morning. Good day for working on it. I cut a guide hole for 40 meters. We're going to put it in here. So.
Oh, good. Your old 66-foot wire with a coax or an open wire feeder coming down from it.
It'll be coax, but I usually make one of those ugly balance for it. So where we're going to try to see what happens. This is the one I built for 80, and it seems to be working pretty good for me so far. And then I put one up yesterday for 160, and this was working pretty good too. So we're getting headed the right direction. Over.
Well, that sounds good. 160 meters last night, tons of lightning static. None of it close, but by gosh, the levels were pretty high. The 40 meters last night was open pretty much, it opened very nicely to Europe. And there were lots of different European stations coming in. So you'll enjoy 40 meters, that's for sure, Al.
Yeah, Roger. That 20 meters was wide open last night, too. Long in Italy and all over the place. So it was booming.
Well, I think those Italians come in 24/7, so pretty hard to stop them from pipping your estimators in.
Yeah, that's true. But anyhow, like I said, it was sort of, different. Anyhow, Dave, I'll let you carry on. There's a bunch more I want to get to you. And you have a great day over there in London. Thanks again for being there. But see you again. But you just do Fridays, don't you?
Yeah, I just do Fridays at the moment.
Okay, well, we'll see you next Friday.
Okay, thanks so much, Al. B3. B3 Kilo Charlie Yankee portable. Where are you portable, Ken? Oh, really? Well, your signal's not weak, but you're fully copyable. Go ahead. Okay, somebody decided to tune up right in the middle of the channel, and that drove my AGC so that you disappeared on me. But I do understand that your vacation's coming to an end. You lucky sod, you got away for a week. So hold that in your heart all long winter. We had to cancel our cottage, rented cottage this summer, and we haven't seen anything else yet. We might get away in September. We'll certainly give it a try anyway. Well, thank you so much for dropping by, and enjoy the rest of the day. And I don't know when it is you're leaving, whether you're leaving tomorrow or Sunday, but a safe drive home. Okay, Ken 73. V3 Sierra Delta Quebec, please go ahead. Okay, Ron, thank you so much. Good luck with that video production. It sounds like it might be useful, and have a great weekend. 73 Ron. This is the E3EI, Dave in London for the Ontars Net. We meet here on 3755 every day, currently from 7 in the morning till noon. Once we get into the fall and better conditions begin to appear, we'll be going the whole day, all the way down to 6. And we exist here to take check-ins and chat and share stories and warn each other of whatever needs to be warned of, I guess, in these days. And looking for your check-in, please give me a call.
Victor X3, India, Sierra X-ray.
Okay, I got Bill, NH, and Barry, ISX, and I got a VA3 whiskey something. Complete your call, please. I'm not getting the last letter. Try it again. Oh, whiskey uniform. Okay, let's go with that list. Okay, Bill, good morning.
The skies are going to open up Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I hope it gets it all out of the system before the 15th of August, which is the Hanover Hamfest.
Yeah, which I'm particularly looking forward to. And in fact, I might get over to Irene's the next day or two. She's got a whole bunch of stuff that I need to get a hold of to take to a Hamfest. So maybe we'll turn from being a gawker to a seller, but.
Yeah, Rod. I just think it's a good time to mention that the story of the Hamfest, and everybody's sitting on the pier of Lakeland Club to protect themselves, and only 100 people will be allowed into the buying area at any one time. The vendors and the staff are additional, but only 100 buyers will be allowed in at any one time. So you have to be prepared for a little bit of a wait, I guess, if you don't get there early.
Well, that sounds like an awfully good idea. It sounds like they've got it well thought through. And, yeah, I think it's going to be only the second flea market of the year. The flea market over there in, well, I guess it was north of Hamilton. I don't remember the exact location they said back in, what was that, February? Anyway, two friends of mine and I went up there. Didn't find what we were looking for, but I did find a nice ham and cake for $5, and I've now got a transceiver in it. So, yeah, looking forward to it, Bill.
That should be good. I've spoken with quite a number of people who are planning on attending the 17 vendors they're going to be there. And I think it's going to be pretty good as long as the weather holds. It should be a good day. And if everybody cooperates and keeps the proper distance apart and doesn't get too upset about maybe a bit of a delay in getting in, it should be a good one. Anyway, Dave, good to hear you this morning. Nice signal. Everybody's signal coming in. I just wondered if Rick W.U.'s up at this trailer because he doesn't have the phone. Back to you, he's grinning.
Yeah, sure. We'll hear from Rick in a minute. Thanks, Bill. We'll see you in Hanover. And D3ISX, Barry, good morning.
And good morning to you. 30 over at the line here in the Hanover. Morning walk is starting to do these early now because of the temperature. Like getting out in 14-degree weather and sunshine coming up. And yeah, the moon is definitely out there, David. Anyways, I don't have any traffic. Just want to congratulate EBM. All the proceeds of the Hanover Handful will be shared. So very, very good experience indeed. And let's wish that the weather is good for next Saturday and everything else. Also, Peter, V3DOU, will be filling in for Tony this morning, who is just simply away. V3EI from V3ISX.
Oh, okay. So Tony is traveling or whatever. Well, that's good to know. Thank you so much for that. I was kind of worrying.
He Yeah, I think we all were, but anyway, there's some comments, and that's about all we can say. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing whatever he knows best.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Barry. 73s. Have a great weekend. And VA3 Whiskey Uniform, Rick, good morning. Yeah, you're a little bit above the noise level. You're pushing S5 to S6, so that was good. But you're right. By golly, if the antenna is not very high, it almost universally doesn't work very well, and you don't get a tremendous amount of radiation. So yeah, get that antenna a little bit higher, like another 30 feet or whatever. Yeah, I use an air cannon to throw a fairly substantial weight over the tops of trees or through the branches or whatever, and it does quite well with me. I tried the arrow business once, but I had difficulty with the arrow not wanting to drop out of the tree, and because it was a fairly light arrow, and it tended to hang up in the branches, so that was a bit of a puzzle. Anyway, Rick, thank you so much for dropping by and checking in. I do appreciate it. You have a great weekend and a safe travel back. Go ahead, the station saying morning, Rick.
Yeah, sorry I didn't make it over there yesterday, but I got project here, Rick, over. Oh, well, you guys are doing a lot out in the water. That sounds like a lot of fun. Anyways, we'll talk to you later on. That's great.
And good morning, John. How are the deer flies?
Oh, they're doing quite well. I found a cure for them, though, Dave. A fellow was telling me about putting Vicks on, and just rub it behind your ears, and believe it or not, the deer flies stay away, so that actually works.
Yeah, that was last week we discussed that, so I'm thrilled to hear that it works. So prior to going out in the woods next time, I'll be sure to pick up a jar.
Yeah, well, it really worked for me anyways. I didn't get bit at all when I was out there. By the way, I was running the Transprovincial yesterday at 9 o'clock, and I had check-ins right from New Brunswick right out to Alberta yesterday, every single province in between. So, boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, the bands are good. But I could not hear any local station whatsoever. It was all stations that were out there not quite far.
Yeah, just a skip distance, right? Quite often I will turn on the rig and dial up 7.1 to see whether I can hear anybody. And occasionally I have heard Rolly in the past, but boy, that's pretty rare. And usually the signals are not very stellar, but you're right. Getting out into the Maritimes or out into Manitoba and Alberta, the signals can be pounding in.
Yeah, that's what it was yesterday. It's funny, there's a couple places that you usually get here in Ontario. That's Kingston
area, and Windsor schedule. Here's the signal. So, anyways, it's the way it is. There used to be the skinnier band during the daytime there at one time, but not anymore. Every day. Yeah, well, it will change. We're getting more propagation, more sunspots. Cycle 25 is beginning to build, and I think it will return to its glory. 40 meters is a great band. Always nice to have an antenna up and for it, and so yeah, we'll be seeing some changes to propagation before too long. That's 3 days. Oh, I live perpetually, I think, with my fingers crossed. Thank you, John. 73. This is B3EI, Dave in London, thinking about 1957 when we had some serious propagation, looking for your check-in. Okay, out of all of that, I got Yankee Fox, and good morning, Bob, and there were half a dozen others, so space it out, gentlemen. Okay, I thought I might have heard Mark in there. I got George, GMK, and Lima, Julia, Quebec, and anybody else? Victor Alpha 3, X-Ray, Romeo. Oh, okay. Well, Vic, I've already got you checked in. Why don't you go first? Go ahead. BA3 Whiskey Uniform. Yeah, 3690. Okay, very good. All right, thank you so much. And my memory's playing games on me. I thought it was Bob, but it's Mike. Mike Petawawa. Good morning, VE3YF.
Everyone else, and I was going to have a comment
Well, as John Lewis would say, good trouble, I hope. And Mike, as far as working that DX where they have high signal to noise levels, I guess what that means is you just need to run more power. Well, okay, hold on a second now. You can run the legal limit, 1,500 watts. That's not a problem, right? And you have serious antenna gain, and there's no limitation on how much antenna has to put up. Rent some property, put up a rhombic antenna, and put all of that power into a very narrow beam, and you'll have it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I can hear him, no problem.
Yeah, well, certainly as propagation changes and we get back into a real sunspot, we'll all be enjoying it, I'm sure.
Yeah, other than that,
Yeah, and I'll just say that online Hamfest actually starts tonight at 01 Greenwich. So 9 o'clock tonight events start. So don't be missing out on that.
There's only one or two that I really want, and one is tomorrow afternoon when the aircraft will be talking about the new rig I bought. So I want to learn every little bit about it, and there's, I think, one other that I want. I won't be on there for the full 48 hours.
We'll try to get a little bit of sleep in there, eh?
We'll do this. Anyways, you take care.
Okay, Mike, thanks so much for dropping by. And easy call from Mike Kilo. George, good morning. Yeah, I've always found that the biggest difficulty is not getting the object into the tree, it's to get the object to fall out of the tree. A while back I was working with a line that I wanted to come down through a maple tree, and the maple tree is under an oak tree, and so where the maple and the oak meet is a dense mat of leaves. And I couldn't get my lightweight weight to come down through that mess. So I ended up throwing a lead-filled weight up, and this thing weighs probably 4 or 5 pounds, and it had no trouble coming through the mat of leaves. I just let the thing go, and it just came zip, and I think it broke a branch and fell through. The really lightweight objects can sometimes just hang up and stay up there. Matter of fact, there's a pop bottle with line attached still hanging in the tree up in Algonquin Park. Well, I appreciate you doing that. You have a great day and a great weekend. Thanks so much for dropping by. And my friend Mark, V3LJQ, how are things up in Vashcom Lake? Go ahead. Okay, I'm certainly thinking of you, and hope you're doing well. I've been to Bon Echo Park. Matter of fact, that was one of the very first parks I ever camped at when I was moved up to Ontario. But no, I was actually thinking of Sharbot Lake, Sharbot. It's also just off Highway 7, and I guess the road going north from there is pretty much north from Kingston. And I think Sharbot Lake is off Highway 38. I think Sharbot Lake is where Terry Dickinson quite often will do a song talk. At least he used to. Maybe he doesn't use them any now. the lights were really pretty bright there. I was quite surprised by that. But Mount Echo is pretty dark, you're right. Of course, there's enough trees